Hello, hello. Welcome back to Core Life Chit Chat. It is me, Nav, your favorite host, your favorite brown boy, and the biggest procrastinator in the world. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the one thing that January is popular for. Any guesses? Now, if you have guessed, Nav's going to be talking to us about gyms being super fucking packed by people who don't know how to use a treadmill. You would have guessed almost correct. January is popular for that. But no. Today's episode is going to be all about resolutions. That's right. Let's face it. Resolutions are like that one friend who promises they're going to change, but shows up to a brunch 45 minutes late every single time. Unreliable at best, delusional at the worst. But hey, we all do it, right? You know, we all sit there in our house on like end of December and we're like, you know what, this year I'm going to get ripped, I'm going to drink more water, and I'm going to become the next billionaire and the sex god. And then sure, you know, we have that motivation at the end of December and we start that motivation in January. And by the time the first week of February hits, we're all laying in our beds, wrapped up in our blanket like a burrito, and wondering why our bank accounts look like they have been robbed. And then proceed to thinking how we can sell our organs for money. We've all been there. We've all been there, okay? New Year's resolutions is a fucking hoax. So today, I'm going to be diving into the wild, wild world of New Year's resolutions, and I'll be talking to you about why they're ridiculous, why they never work, and why at the age of 26, I'm still making New Year's resolutions. So, while I'm going to break down my New Year's resolution and why they're a hoax, why don't you grab your abandoned goals, sit back, grab a glass of wine, because we all know that you've already failed dry January, and let's make fun of New Year's resolutions together, shall we? So without further ado, let's jump into this episode. Now, you know, like I said, you know, end of December, we've all been lazy sacks of shit. Some of us has accomplished something, most of us have accomplished nothing in 2024. And we just have this energy, you know, we want to take our life by the fucking balls and do some shit, and we come up with New Year's resolution. Now, first of all, everyone, and I know you've been in this position as well, New Year's resolutions always fail. Now, why is that? You know, what's the reason? And I had to do some deep dive. So I went on my walks, and on my walks, if I saw anybody make eye contact with me, I would stop, I would chat with them, and I would ask, hi, can you please explain why you have failed your New Year's resolution so miserably? Upon which they'll say, what the fuck is wrong with you, or get away from me. And I just kept thinking, I'm like, what is it? What is it that, you know, they keep rejecting my questions and like they're being so angry? And then it dawned upon me. It is because one of their New Year's resolutions is to be mean to brown people. And you know what? If that's the resolution, I support it. You know, I live in Victoria and it's been awful peaceful. And especially I live in the goddamn suburbs. It's really quiet. So you know what? I welcome some hatred. Okay, I'm going to just throw it out there. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with a little bit of hatred on my walk. But my research did not end there. Okay, even though many people rejected to answer my question, I dove deep into the archives of Google search. And upon which I realized that there's actually 3 factors that why New Year's resolution have kept failing. The number one is the cliche resolutions, which are just way too unrealistic, okay? Now, every guy that's listening to this episode will agree with this. There's been a time in your life where you felt a little heavy, a little ugly, a little chubby, or you just didn't straight up feel like a sex god. And you looked at yourself in the end of December and you're like, you know what, man? I really let myself go. I'm going to become as ripped as Zac Efron from Baywatch in that scene where he was lifting, like, you know, the refrigerators over his shoulder and he was, like, doing this, like, acrobatic thing. Now, I know you've been there, and I know you can relate. And I know the rest of the listeners, you might be thinking, wow, Nav, that's a very specific reference. Where is that coming from? Well, that's because that's been my resolution every year since 2016. I really want to look like Zac Efron from Baywatch. Can you really blame me? You know, have you seen that movie? That guy's ripped. But that's not why I want to look like Zac Efron from Baywatch. Okay, the reason I want to look like Zac Efron from Baywatch is because he's white. And if anything, And if I've been taught anything by living in a white country, is that white privilege is a thing. So that's just what I'm, looking up to and wanting in my life. But moving on, every guy wants to be ripped, right? And the reason every guy ever that wants to be ripped fails within like 2 months of working out and trying to achieve that physique is unrealistic goals. Okay, first of all, you're not gonna go from like 30% body fat to 6% body fat in a fucking month. Okay, y'all are stupid. The second thing is, what is the one thing that motivates every man to achieve his dreams? If you have guessed money or sex, you're wrong. The answer is pain. Okay, the answer is pain. Every guy in their life has been broken heart at least once or twice. Now, I don't know what it is. Either we're just hardwired like this, or maybe there's like social stigma. I really don't know. But as a guy, I can confirm. The only thing that makes us want to go to the gym is not if we're fat or not, or we want to, physique like Zac Efron or not. The reason we go to gym is because every guy is trying to get over their ex or compensate for their ex leaving you. That's it. That's really it. Now, I know you might be thinking, haha, Nav, like, that's fucking bullshit. That's really cool. Let me tell you a story, okay? This is legit. This is legitimately a true story. So this is back in this past November. I was like, you know what? I have gained a lot of weight. Why the hell did my cup size go from like C's to double D's? Okay, this is not cool. I don't want to have double D titties as a fucking dude. So I had that, that spurt, like that week spurt of motivation where like for 1 week you're like, I'm gonna get ripped. But it only lasts like a fucking week, right? So I was going to the gym and I went to my gym and there was a guy. He is probably, I want to say like maybe like 5'9", probably around like 190 pounds. And guy's like working out. He's wearing this tank top. He has this hat. He has like headphones on his head, and he's just fucking working out. Like, the guy was staring at himself, exhaling through the mouth, teeth completely locked. It looked like he had been bitten by a fucking wild dog who had rabies. Okay, if this guy in the middle of his workout just like shift into a fucking werewolf, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, and I just walk up to this guy, and this guy's like fucking just sweaty as hell. Just, you can definitely tell he's like heavily breathing, but like he looks very angry. Like, he looks like he's about to commit murder or suicide, one or the other. And I go to him, I'm like, hey man, like, what's up? And he's like, not much. I'm like, yo dude, you deadlifting? How many reps are you going for? He's like, I'm doing 15 sets of 20 reps. First of all, what the fuck? Okay, what are you trying to lift, man? Okay, you don't need to work out that much. Okay, all my gym bros will understand that is fucking crazy. And I ask him, I'm like, hey man, like, what music are you listening to? You look very hyped. Because how the hell am I going to tell him, hey man, you look like you're about to commit murder or suicide, and you look like you're a fucking werewolf in transition. Like, what's going on with you? And he goes, I'm not listening to any music, bro. I'm like, oh yeah? Why is that? Like, you got the headphones on. He's like, I'm just in my thoughts. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm thinking of my thoughts while I work out. I'm like, in that moment, I don't say a word. In my mind, I'm like, holy shit. This guy's next level. Okay, nobody's working out with that much ferocity, not listen to a single song, and then just goes, I'm thinking. That's what is giving me motivation to pump this hard. So I'm like, okay, like, what are you thinking about? And he's like, my ex-girl cheated on me. Anyways, bro, I gotta get back to the set. And then he fucking puts his headphone back on, and then he grabs the bar for deadlift, and he just starts fucking grunting and going as fast as possible. And I'm just standing there, and I'm just looking at the guy, and I'm like, there's no way this man is deadlifting 20 fucking reps while thinking about his girl cheating on him. I thought it was all a fucking meme, okay? But no, this guy, this guy is fighting his demons while deadlifting at the gym. And in that moment, I realized that it's not a meme. This is literally the shit that men have to deal with to put up and like get that physique, and how they can motivate themselves to get in the gym. Now, I know what you might be wondering. Nav, if other guys have pain in their heart of their girlfriend cheating on them, and that's why they go to gym, why are you going to the gym when you don't even have a girlfriend? Well, the reason I go to the gym, even though I never had a girlfriend, is because I never had a girlfriend, right? You see, obviously, as I said, you have to go to the gym to compensate for the pain that your excess cost you. But in my case, I go to the gym for the pain I'm going to cause my future girlfriend. You see how that works? The point I'm trying to make is gym is a place for pain. Either you go to it to overcome pain or you go to it to give pain. For me, in my future, I'll be giving pain to my future girlfriend. So I'm just getting prepared for that. It's kind of like getting all the motivation within you. Other people are motivated to go. I go so I have the motivation to inflict pain. Because if I don't have motivation to inflict pain into my girlfriend's life, how will she go to the gym and motivate herself, right, after our breakup? You see, it's just a cycle of motivating others to go to the gym. And I'm just trying to help my future girlfriend by promising that I will be a pain in her ass. So she is then motivated to go to gym after she breaks up with me. Now let's move on to the next reason why New Year's resolution fail. Because New Year's resolution, people be doing too much. We all know somebody who's like, my New Year's resolution for 2025 is going to be, I'm going to run 15 kilometers every day. Well, here's the thing, bro. Right now, me and the other people that's making the resolution, we both look like we climb stairs and then have to stop because we're fucking wheezing like a fat cow that just ran through the field. Okay? So how do we pump the brakes? And how about we not do too much? Instead of starting like a 10-kilometer run, how about we just get up from the couch without like sighing, like, like that old man grunt when we like sit down, like our dads sit down on the couch and they always like let us sigh. Or when they have to get up, your dad just inhales so much oxygen because your dad's thinking, shit, this is it. This might be it for me. Like that. That's, how most people, at least in my life, at 26, are getting up from the couch. Okay? It's a make or break for them. That might be their last moment on earth. And in that moment, I think, hey, listen, maybe we should do something, but not a lot, right? Let's not make crazy and much drastic changes, which leads into why we fail New Year's resolution. You gotta remember this, okay? Getting and achieving your New Year's resolutions, ideally associated with health, you have to understand that we're in real life, right? This is not a Disney movie. There's no motivational music playing. There's no fucking, Eye of the Tiger playing when you go for a little bit of a run during your walks. There's none of that. And most importantly, you're definitely not the main character. You don't radiate main character energy. So we need to take that into account and set our goals so that they are based on real life. Which is, let's not go for a 10-kilometer run. Let's start with like 2 kilometer and then work upwards. Let's not think and be proud at losing 1 pound and then eating a burger, because that's kind of what I do. Every single time I lose a pound, I'm like, I gotta celebrate, and I gain like 3 more pounds in my celebration, and the next thing you know, like I said, I'm in a position where I have D cups instead of fucking B cups. But, even through all of that, I am motivated to make New Year's resolutions. Okay, I know what I just said, that most likely I will fail. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, to succeed in achieving a New Year's resolution, the one thing you really need is motivation. Okay? And what is more motivating than wanting to lose your fucking D-cup titties? I'm not joking. I have gotten so chubby, it's fucking crazy. Okay? I was hanging out with my friend, and he was like telling me, he's like, Nav, you gotta lose weight, bro. Like, I'm like, you gotta like get in shape and blah, blah. And I never had body issues. I was always cool with it. I'm always cool with all my, how heavy I am. But I officially decided to lose weight. And you might be thinking, Nav, that's fucking sick. It must be, because you're fat. It must be because you want to lose titties. It must be, because you want to look nice as clothes. But no, none of that's true. The main reason I want to lose weight is because I've realized that it's probably not a good look. If I was to get a girlfriend or a partner or whatever, it's probably not a good look that my titties are bigger than hers. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. So I was like, I don't want my girlfriend to feel bad about her body by, declaring that, hey, your man's has a bigger boobs than you. So I was like, it's about time. And honestly, some might call that like, oh, Nab, you're very funny. But I think that's chivalrous. I would say I'm chivalrous as hell for making sure my girlfriend's not going to feel insecure about her boobs when she compares them to mine. But, besides losing weight, my goal for this year, predominantly which is to lose weight, but another goal of mine this year is to enjoy reading. Last year, my goal was to read 36 books in the year. I actually finished, I think, at 37. And I'm very proud. But doing so, and because I read digitally, I had to get my eyes checked, and my optometrist straight up said, Nav, your eyesight has gotten drastically weaker with a massive change. So my optometrist asked, Nav, what are you doing? I told him that I'm reading a lot of books on my phone. And he goes, yeah. And I shit you not, he looks at me, he's like, yeah, you gotta stop. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're doing too much. My optometrist, who's probably like 45, looks at me and is like, Nav, you're doing too much right now. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you need to give your eyes some break, man. You gotta cut that out a little bit. So now my goal for this year is to read maybe like 10 books. And that's just a good thing, because last year when I was trying to read, 36 books in the year, which roughly comes down to 3 books a month, I always felt like I'm against this clock that is constantly ticking. Like I'm on a time crunch to, hit my 3 books per month mark, or I'll fail my goal. In that, I lost the passion and the fun I developed that is reading. So I am really excited to cut back and adjust my goals so I can appreciate my favorite hobby, which is reading. On top of that, my goal for this year is to, as I said, make my OnlyFans, and once again, no sexual content on my OnlyFans. That I have officially decided, because like I said in a previous episode, in order for me to make sexual content for OnlyFans, I need to be having sex, and I don't even know what that is. I'm a man of God. I don't know what sex is. I don't know where do you, or how do you, or when do you. The point is, I will not be making sexual content on my OnlyFans. But lastly, and not least, my biggest goal of the year is to keep enjoying this podcast and to not embarrass myself. I was kind of skipping through my past podcast episodes, and I realized I've said some embarrassing shit. But one of my goals is also to embarrass myself more on the podcast. I love to share the stories, and it's been a blast. Now, as I said, a blast, it just came to mind. People that are listening to this episode, or even your friends in your life, they've always be thinking, dude, I gotta fucking lock in this year, and I gotta hit the gym. How many times have you heard that phrase? I gotta hit the gym, or I gotta hit the tracks and go for a run. First of all, I hate that phrase. Okay, I hate the phrase hit something. I hate it. It's cringe. Now, for those of you, if you didn't know, Harvard did a study, and they were like, there's a phenomenon going on where people describe like committing to something as, I'm going to hit XYZ, or I'm going to do this. And they did a study, and they said, well, what are most likely people about to hit? Whether it's the gym or the track, or like hit the work to make more money or whatever. And they came up with 3 things. If you didn't know, this is legitimately true. You can look this up if you don't believe me. This study is so popular, it's trending everywhere. So Harvard found, after completing a survey of 6 million people, they found out that people are likely to hit 3 things. Shit you not, just 3. 3 things people are likely to hit. The first one is, people are likely to hit the noose. Okay. Secondly, people are likely to hit their kids. And third, people are most likely to hit it from the back. So, if you're ever in a position, or you hear your friends say, I gotta hit the gym, just tell them to shut the fuck up, and tell them the 3 things they're likely to hit, which is their kids, the noose, or hit it from the back. And outside of those, it's not gonna happen. So right then and there, you can be sure that your friend's not likely going to hit the gym, and then you should motivate your friend to hit the fucking gym. Because your friend's probably being a lazy sack of shit, like me. And they need to get their shit together. Or like me, they'll also have double D titties. And ain't nobody want that, okay? It ain't cool when the only boobs you see in your world are your own. Trust me. Trust me, I've been there. It ain't cool. It's kind of bummer. But all in all, I hope every one of you achieves their New Year resolution. By the end of the year, I know I'll make an episode, and in that episode, I'm declaring it right now, I'll tell you exactly how much I lost weight, and if I lost no weight, then I will probably try losing weight again. The point is, have fun. Don't go too hard on your goals. don't set expectations way too high and way too unrealistic. Have fun with yourself, have fun with the goals, and just be proud of the journey. And lastly, I just want to say something positive, which is don't judge the success of something based on if you hit a number or if you achieved exactly to the verbatim what you wanted to achieve on a scale. No. Judge the success by how good you feel, how happy you feel, and how much better you are. Even if you wanted to lose 100 pounds but you only lost 50, appreciate the fact that you lost 50 rather than being depressed that you couldn't lose the 100. I've been in those situations where I've achieved great in my past New Year resolution, whether with weight, school, whatnots, but didn't achieve exactly what I wanted and was completely disheartened. And all I'll say is sometimes, the saying is comparison is a thief of joy, but sometimes you yourself can be the thief, if not the murderer of your own joy. So, just want to leave that with you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much for listening. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.